Today I'm very excited to have Dana Campbell as my guest on Stories Worth Telling. Dana is an amazing young woman, amazing, and you are just going to be so delighted by the opportunity to hear what she does. You will not believe it. She is a craftsperson, but she's more than a craftsperson. She's an artist. She's a bookbinder. She does book repair. She does book printing, all about books. Dana, welcome. Thank you so much for being my guest today. I'm so excited to hear how you got started. And you said it's in the blood, that you actually don't even have blood in your body. You have ink in your body.
Yes.
How is that even possible?
That's correct. So I do often say that I have ink in my blood. It's kind of amazing. So I sort of wandered into bookbinding and letterpress.
Well, I just love the fact that it was your great-grandfather on your father's side who did this back in the...
So I would guesstimate that he was probably actively printing in like the 50s, 60s, maybe into the 70s at around
1900,
that time.
1800?
19.
Okay,
so, yeah. For him, I feel like it was a little bit of a later life process. Like that was kind of a hobby that he picked up. He was a teacher.
Oh,
and so
like
that
an
was
English teacher?
I believe, yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, so letterpress printing was something that he did as a hobby. He was a hobbyist.
I love that.
My grandmother often speaks. She has memories of hearing the printing press tinkering away in the basement when he was printing at home.
Now both of them have passed.
They have.
I imagine. But did they get to see you doing this or know that you did this?
They did not, unfortunately. I was really privileged to have known both of those great-grandparents. Tom passed away, I believe I was like maybe 12 years old, somewhere around there. Old enough that I have concrete memories of him.
I love that. And then were you there with him in the room with the big press machines?
No. So this was something I didn't discover that he had this relationship with printing until much, much later. So I had gone off to college, was studying graphic design and illustration, figured out very, very quickly I did not want to sit at a computer for the rest of my life.
But you developed your artistic sense and your artistic eye and your capabilities. So all of that information and background
was there for sure.
But also lends itself to the work that you're doing now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's amazing.
Yeah. And so
it wasn't wasted.
Right. And so I ended up stumbling my way into letterpress and bookbinding, which was where like art and craft met utility. I could work with my hands, and I could work with paper and leather and all of these beautiful textures and materials.
It's almost like an architecture.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. In fact, I took a class called paper engineering, which was like pop-up books and things of that nature.
Oh my God,
it's just incredible.
Fun.
It was a great experience.
Well, and I just have to say shout out to Waterford Library because that's where I met you not that long ago, and I made a book. So here's the book that I made.
Yes, you did a great job. It's gorgeous.
Well, and I just am so proud of it.
Yeah. I'm so glad.
And they're so beautiful, and they make beautiful gifts, and it's that time of year.
It is. I've had so many people in my workshops recently have been making books as gifts for other people. And then I've also been having a lot of people come in and getting workshop passes as gifts. Instead of giving objects, people are giving experiences to other people, and I think that that's amazing.
Well, you remember the experience, and then you remember whatever it is that you bring or make in that experience. So it's like a triple gift.
Exactly. Yeah. And my hope is always that not only are you walking away with something that you've made and that you're proud of, but I'm also getting that knowledge out there, because there's so few people that are working in this space. There's so few bookbinders. There's so few letterpress printmakers.
Well, I think it's growing exponentially.
I hope so.
With you.
I hope so. I really do.
You're doing it. You're changing the world, one class at a time.
Thank you.
Oh, and I treasure this. I haven't even written in it yet because I don't know. it has to be something very, very special.
You'll find the right thing. It'll speak to you.
So much fun. So you got your degree in graphic design?
Yes, I have a degree in graphic design and one in illustration. But towards the end of my schooling, I had extra credits left over, and I said, well, let's go play. Like, let's do something totally different. And so I landed in my school's bookbinding and letterpress department, and I fell in love. There was just something there that spoke to me on such a deep level. It was like I found home.
Nice.
You know, it gave me that feeling and that sense of accomplishment, and it was like I just connected with it.
Nice.
And it was only after that, I had come home from school, I was talking to my family, and it
So
was
it was
then.
like that 2013, because you said you
Yes,
graduated from
yes.
Stonington High
Yep,
in 2009.
Yep.
So
And it was at that point that coming home and speaking to my family that I found out about my great-grandfather and
what
his
was their
hobby.
response?
It was incredible, because I had wandered into this thing and it spoke to me on such a deep level, and then to find out that 4 generations ago in the family,
That's amazing.
here it is. And then the printing press, his printing press, was in my grandmother's basement, which
She still had
she still had it, and I had no idea.
Oh my God, that is so
So
cool.
my
So do you have that
I do.
machine? Oh my
I do.
gosh.
Yep. My grandfather and I went down into the basement. We pulled it out. It was my first restoration of a press.
Oh, and what did you have to do? Do you have to clean it up?
So
or-
yes,
yeah.
it needed a
It's
deep
mess.
clean.
Yeah.
The rollers are a very, very common thing that needs replacing on presses that are
Sure,
old.
yeah.
A couple of springs, a little elbow grease here and there.
So you really know the mechanics of all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
well, you have to, and it's unfortunately there's not people out there who are servicing these machines anymore. So it's
Okay.
a lot of it is finding your community, reaching out to people who are mechanical people who are
Okay.
into carpentry and woodworking, and making the connections with people who, if you can't find the part, you can get someone to machine it or to make it for you.
Interesting. Yeah.
So that was the first press that I had, and I ran my business on that press for the first 8 years.
That is amazing.
I printed my wedding invitations on
Oh,
that press.
that is so cool. So you're talking 2013 to 2021.
So I established the business officially in 2014.
Okay.
And then, like they said, the first 8 years or so was on that press, and then after that, it was growing to a level that I knew I needed to up the efficiency, and that's when I moved to my first floor model press.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're over at the Velvet
I
Mill.
am, yes.
And that's in Stonington.
That's in Stonington Borough.
Stonington
Yep.
Borough.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a beautiful old mill building. It was at one time a velvet manufacturing facility.
I've been over there. It's a
Yep.
beautiful location.
Yep. It was built in the late 1800s, which places it actually at around the same age as some of my printing presses,
that
which is
so
kind
cool.
of a neat
Makes
little
it
crossover.
authentic. Oh, here's the picture of the Velvet
Yep.
Mill.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you,
a
Drew, for popping
beautiful,
that up.
beautiful, expansive space. There's so many wonderful small businesses that share the space with me. My studio is there. Everything that I do happens there. So all of the printing happens on site.
And this is right inside of your studio.
Yes, it is. Yep, and that machine there is Frida. That is-
Frida?
Yep, I name all my presses.
Why?
Well, I think every press needs a name. Every ship needs a name. Every press needs a name.
Are they all female?
They are all female. This is a woman-powered studio.
I love that. So that's Frida.
That is Frida. She's a Ben Franklin Gordon press. She was manufactured in upstate New York. And she's just, she runs beautifully. She runs
Wow.
beautifully. She's human powered, foot pedal operated, so.
Kind of like those old-fashioned sewing machines.
Correct,
My mom
correct.
or my grandmother had one of those
Yep,
old-fashioned
yep,
sewing
there's
machines.
a treadle. And
Yep.
I stand there, and I do have to switch legs, because otherwise I'd have one giant leg and one skinny leg, because it does take quite a lot of effort.
I'm sure.
And
You're
then
ambidextrous.
And then I have to feed paper in, and paper in, paper out. We do one color at a time, one print at a time. So if I'm printing multiple colors, we have to print multiple times.
Okay, interesting how that
Yep.
works.
Yep.
Okay, how much does Frida weigh?
So that press is approximately 1,200 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't move that often.
No, I hope not.
She's kind of in her place, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
hopefully not going anywhere anytime soon.
Oh.
But yeah, she's a feat of engineering and a piece of art in and of herself. Just beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Now you share your studio with another artist?
I did at one point.
Oh, you have
but
your own spot
at
now.
this pace, yeah, I do have my own spot now.
Wow,
so,
congratulations.
Yeah,
You're
I've
growing.
expanded.
That is amazing.
Yep, it's been wonderful. It's been a great journey. It really has. And the community at the mill is just really, really empowering. So.
Nice. And you have events all the time.
We do. And it's interesting because the mill is such an interesting place for creatives.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a lot of other small businesses, restaurants, things to do all the time. And so we have mill-wide events, but then we also have individual sort of business by business events.
Nice.
So I, as an example, I host workshops at my studio. I also travel. You took advantage of one of those traveling
did.
workshops. So yeah, it's a really wonderful place to call home. It really is.
Nice, very nice. Wow. So you've done some pretty interesting books in your opportunity to repair things.
Yes.
Now, you said you repaired a book that had Eleanor Roosevelt's
I did.
autograph
I
in.
did,
Did you
yes.
just kind of like much
Yeah,
over that.
it was, you know, when you have the chance and the privilege to encounter a piece of history like that, I think that you kind of have to just sit with it for a minute and just kind of really look and go, wow, like,
Respect.
this is real. Like, this is so real.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, anytime I have a book that comes into my studio for repair, I recognize that it's there for a reason. And it's a great privilege to work on every single book, regardless of its significance, you know. But just to think of how many hands have flipped the pages or opened that cover. You see the inscription that it was gifted to someone Christmas morning 1904. I mean, it's just, these are beautiful relics of history.
They
and
really
they need to be preserved. They really do.
Yep. I love it that you're doing that. Yeah. And then you said something about a hair book.
I did.
Tell me about that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, that was something that people really did.
It was commonplace. Absolutely.
I didn't know. Did they? Tell me about it.
So I was able to repair, and it was a very petite little book. It was only about this big. But it was a book that collected locks of baby hair from a family that dated back to the early 1800s.
And was it able to maintain the color of the hair?
It was.
Yeah.
And, you know, for the most part, everybody had kind of the same sort of brownish blonde hair. I mean, it's all in a family, right? But, you know, they would have a little date next to it, and it would be tied with a little ribbon. Or it was really sweet. And it was just one of those things that the family had tucked away because the binding was falling apart. And they were kind of afraid to look at it and to really enjoy it.
Oh, boy.
And so I was able to kind of breathe new life into it and make sure that that's enjoyed for future generations.
Oh, that is lovely.
Yeah.
Any other stories like that?
I mean, like I said, every book that comes in is a real privilege to work on. I mean, I do a lot of Bibles, for example.
Interesting.
I get some with, you know, there's not an inch of margin space left over because someone has taken so many notes throughout it. I also do a lot of cookbooks. Cookbooks are a very popular repair.
Oh, my cookbook is such a mess.
Yeah.
All those splatters. And
well, that's the thing, is you can always tell what the favorite recipes are because those pages, well, the books like to open to those pages, but then you can see all the splatters and all the notes of substitute this or don't do that. So
oh, that is so funny.
It's an adventure. Every book is different.
It is. Oh my gosh, yeah. And you're kind of just a one-person operation.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I have a lot of support. I have a lot of people who really uplift my business and help spread the word and put me out there. But yeah, for the most part, the day-to-day operations is just me. So, you know, I'm doing the design work, I'm doing the print work, I'm doing the hand binding. My husband is coming in one day a week now to assist with some of that stuff.
Very sweet.
And you know, he's like my cheerleader. He's like my number one. And I so appreciate that. And yeah, I've built a community. Like I said, at the Velvet Mill, there's a great community of people. And then just people that I've met by chance and who have become a huge part of my life and my inspiration.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Let's see. So we already talked about, well, you name all of your printing presses, and some of them you name in honor of people that have been in your life.
Yes, I do. Yep. So I mean, Frida was named because of Frida Kahlo, the artist.
Oh, sure.
Who was just so.
She was the eyebrow lady.
Yes, but just like such a fiery person, and just this image of creativity and queerness and femininity and just beauty in this like really tangible way. And then a couple of my other presses have been named for my grandmothers.
Very sweet.
Because again, just kind of like thinking about the lineage. And then one of my presses.
Who's this popping up?
Yes. So this is my great grandparents. So that's Tom and Imogene. And the press that belonged to Tom has been named Imogene. I felt like it was the most perfect way to name that press.
Now, is that you holding the
It is,
picture?
yes.
And you have on the apron that you have on here today. And now, is this Imogene?
No, so this one is actually called Molly, and this one has a fabulous story.
Oh, please.
So
we're kind of jumping around, but it's very fun.
It's totally fine. When I first opened my studio at the Velvet Mill and I had my ribbon cutting ceremony, there was a gentleman who showed up and introduced himself, and he said, I have a project for you if you're interested.
Nice.
It turns out that Molly had been scrapped at Exeter Scrapyard over in Rhode Island.
Oh my goodness.
And this gentleman, his name is George, had gone over and had rescued this printing press from the scrap
cool.
heap.
Wow.
And had it in his, garage for a couple of years and was waiting for the right opportunity to come along. So I opened up at the Velvet Mill. He came
gave it to you?
We worked together to fully restore the press.
Nice.
And we named it Molly after his daughter.
Aww.
And Molly is now one of the staple presses at the shop.
Oh,
So,
what does that mean? One of the ones that you use the most?
one of the ones that is often used. Yeah, I actually, this holiday season, I printed about 600 greeting cards on Molly.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yep.
So you do greeting cards, you do
do.
wedding invitations,
I do.
probably birth announcements.
Yep, any kind of official sort of paper goods, ephemera, business cards. I do recipe cards. I do
Wow.
paper coasters.
Oh,
Those I
nice.
just do, for retail sale, but also for like weddings and events. They can be customized. That's the beauty of what
Nice.
I do. Everything can be custom as well.
Well, you
So.
have such a good eye, and oh wow, this is all. Oh, these are all your coasters.
Yep, those are some of the coasters.
And some of that is over in your. That's over at the Velvet Mill.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
beautiful.
Yep.
And I love what you did with these books that are in front of you. You said something to the effect of you take an old technique or old, but then you put a modern twist on
Yeah,
it. Can
so
you talk about that?
Of course. So all of the bindings that I do at my studio are based off of historical binding structures.
Okay.
So in my schooling, I went through basically the history of books.
That is so beautiful, the one that just popped up.
Thank you. And bound them along the way as I was learning about these structures. And what that enabled me to do was to take those structures and put a modern twist on them.
Nice.
So I'm creating historically accurate bindings that come from all different eras of book arts, but then I'm choosing kind of, wild and unusual paper or textures or leathers or mixing and matching, as you can see on this one.
That's
mixing
beautiful.
and matching different materials in such a way that it has a more modern flair. And that's where I get to kind of bring in my artistic eye and kind of create something new, even though it speaks to the traditions that came before.
So you're doing things like taking calendars, though, too, and taking pictures and photographs, and then using those as part of the bookbinding, and then assembling of it. So assemblage kind of artwork,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. And then, in my personal work outside of the studio, I do a lot of collage work. And so I think that kind of finds its way into the bookbinding because I'm pulling materials from different places and textures. And like you said, photographs juxtaposed with illustrations or with leather or with, different patterns. And I think it just kind of, it gives the books a different style and something that is kind of unique to,
It's so
to what I
beautiful.
produce.
Tell me about your apron. I love your apron.
Yeah, so my apron is one of those things that when I first started printing in large volume, it was like, okay, I need to protect my clothing because printing ink, letterpress ink, is like the consistency of molasses and it gets everywhere. If you get ink somewhere you don't want it, you'll discover it everywhere.
Well, you don't cook without an apron,
Right,
so why would you
right.
do print binding?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So it was born out of utility, but also out of this desire to, make myself approachable and to really kind of represent this period in time where, think this is handcrafted. Like I'm here and I'm working and I'm getting a little dirty, but at the same time, I'm really producing something that speaks to tradition and is really beautiful.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And are you part of a group? Or is there a bookbinding association?
There are a couple of them. Unfortunately, bookbinding is kind of a dying art. There's not a lot of us out there. The folks that I do find, we're a very passionate bunch. There are a couple of different organizations throughout New England. At this time, I'm not a member of them, not for any good reason. It's more just that I haven't had time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. Because you're booking things,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It never stops. But that's great. I mean, it's the beauty of this is that it does keep me busy. I mean, this is my full-time job, and there's nothing else I would love to do more.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, your passion really shines through, shows through. So that is pretty amazing. Wow, we've already come up on a half an hour.
Oh my gosh, wow.
What would you like to share, Dana? I know that you're on Facebook.
Yes.
And you're TikTok a little bit, not so much, Instagram, but you're all over, and it's
Shuttle press bindery.
Shuttle press bindery.
Yep.
And Velvet Mill.
Yeah, I'm
Are
at
you
the
there
Velvet
pretty
Mill.
much every day, or is it
So
5 days a week? Or when can we look? Oh, there you are in
Yeah,
your
there's
studio.
me.
Nice bright light. That's beautiful.
The space I have is just beautiful. I'm so lucky. I am
You're
there.
so organized, is what I noticed.
I try my best.
Well, it's a lot to manage.
It is.
And if you don't put it back, then you're not going to find it.
Right, right.
Self-trust is the first secret of success.
Yes,
I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah, I am there Thursday through Sunday, typically.
Okay.
I say typically because I do travel a lot.
Right.
I travel throughout New England trying to connect with other makers, attending shows, vending at events. But my standard hours are Thursday through Sunday.
What time?
So Thursday and Friday, 12 to 5.
Okay.
Saturdays, 9 to 5, and Sundays, 11 to 5.
Okay. And the Velvet Mill just has so much there, like you said. So,
Yes.
Plan a trip over there.
Yes. There's a lot to see.
Grab a bite to eat.
Absolutely. You can make a day of it for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have, I don't know, it's decorated for the holidays, and it's a beautiful location.
It's gorgeous.
Now, our time just went by so fast. There's so much more I want to ask you, but what else? What else? What's your words of wisdom, or what's your dream for the future? What are you hoping for?
Yeah. So for me, I think it's just to help people continue to have an appreciation for books and paper goods. I have a little sign in my studio right now that was said by a customer of mine, and it was this little old lady, and she came in and she was kind of trying to decide whether she wanted to buy a book, and she did end up buying one of my journals. And when we were at the checkout counter, she said to me, "You know what? Life is short. Use the good paper."
I love that.
And I was like, you know what? That's my motto.
I love that. I love that.
Yep.
Oh, and you're recycling too, and you're
Yes.
just taking care of the
Yes.
environment
Yep.
and preserving history. So
Yeah, I try to have as little waste as possible in the studio, and that's even a lot of the leathers that I work with are already scraps from other manufacturers and manufacturing processes. So I really just like to kind of keep things rolling and see what I can create.
No pun intended.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Dana, thank you so much
You're
for
so
being my
welcome,
guest
Kate.
again,
Of
or
course.
being my guest, and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to my next class with
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
Signed up for the Japanese one,
Yes.
which is the
Yes.
long.
Yep. Yeah. The workshops are so much fun. Anyone who's interested, I highly encourage you check it out.
Yeah, such a gift. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
your passion, your love, your
Happy
joy.
to do it.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
My pleasure. Stories worth telling.